because I've got visitors coming around. I'm not sure when I can cut off for those that have just joined. So we're testing some SAMs out with the Harrier. I want to fire some sidearms at SA8 with other things next to it and see which one it prioritizes. Okay, press the wrong button. Just need to set the track IR up. Okay, I'm at 12,000 feet. We know we need to be at about 14,000 feet, so we're going to make sure we've got full throttle on, make sure the countermeasures are set, and we're going to fly by at 14,000 feet. So I'm just trimming the aircraft. We're at 13,000 feet now, just climbing slightly, trimming. So I've got the aircraft set up as if I've got some weapons load. And it's going to be the same loadout all the time. Okay, countermeasures. RWR countermeasures good. Checking countermeasures. They're working. Okay, clear the map. Master arm on. Stores page. Just setting up everything normal. Okay, we're 13,500 feet. The airfield's there. And we're going to fly directly over at 14,000 feet. And see if they shoot at me. I'm just doing, like I say, a little bit of hunting the SAMs, SAM testing, and seeing how it all... See if there's anything changed since last time I did this. I've done this about 5 years ago. I made a mission and a stream called Hunt the SAMs with the Harrier, and we did something similar. I want to see what's changed. But nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're doing well. Playing some beautiful Harrier. Let's set up some zoom. Okay, there's the airfield. We're not going to get a warning. I'm at 14,000 feet, roughly, literally 30 feet below. And I can't see the target. He shouldn't shoot at me. Let's see. Altitude's here, buddy. There's the actual altitude, 13,800. Just climbing that up to 14,000. Which will vary because of the hills. We're slightly over the hills at the moment. That will come up nearer where I want. The airfield's at 140 something. So there you go. We're at 14,000 feet. Roundabout. We're directly over the top of him. We're just about to fly over him, and he hasn't fired at me. He's down there. 14,000 feet, you're safe. Okay, let's try 13.5. Yeah, the top value is actual altitude above sea level, correct. The bottom value is above ground, AGL. Alright, we're dropping to 13.5 on the way round, and we're going to fly back over him. There's 13.5. Coming round. Just slightly under 13.5. Lining up. Close enough for government work retrimming. He's not shooting at me, he's down there. 13,500 feet, well 13.4, 13.3, he's not shooting at me. Nope. Right, let's drop it to 12.5. This 12.5 is the altitude, I believe, where you're on the borderline. It's just below 12.5, he shoots at you, 12.5, you might be safe. So what we're going to do is swing, drop it to 12. Sorry, yeah, we'll drop to 13 first. It should be 12.5. Let's see. I'm going to go do a flyby at 13. Just need to climb a little. Okay, nearly 13,000. It's close enough. Okay, we're at 13,000 feet. No missile. Okay, no missile at 13,000 feet, as I expected. Let's try 12 and a half. So like I say, we're just doing a little bit of testing today and a bit of SAM work with sidearms on the Harrier. I had so many questions pop up yesterday when I was flying. So I'm around about 12,000. He's probably shoot at me here. Leveling out, just climbing a little. When it gets to around about 12 and a half. I'm a little low. Let's see if he shoots at me. $12,200. He's not firing. No shot. Nope. Right, I'm just going to pause it and see if he's tracking me. Right, so we press Control F11. We then spin the camera down. We go and have a look at him. Is he tracking me or not? Yes, he is tracking me. Look, he's looking up. He's looking up. So he is tracking me. But I'm just too high for him. Can anti-radar rocket be fired into plane that is locking onto us? Anti-radar. I don't think so, yeah. I'm not sure on that one. Gash says no. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Right, let's carry on. So now we're going to pass at below 12,000 feet. I'm going to set it for 11.9, something like that. So he is looking at me, but we're just outside of his range. Okay, we're at 11,700 coming round. $11,500. I expect him to shoot at me here. From previous testing, I've been killed at 12,000 by these things. Let's see if he hits me at 11 and a half. Just below 11 and a half. He's looking at me. Oh, he has fired. 11 and a half missiles coming. He has fired. 11 and a half missile came out. So it's somewhere between 11 and a half and 12,000 feet. You're not going to see the smoke trail because it just it's so faint, it dissipates really quickly, and because the runway's in the way, we're not going to see it. So he fired at me between 11,500 feet and 12,000 feet, and we're just going to fly by again at 12,000 feet. Make sure he ignores me. So it's still around about the same. If you're above 12,000, you should be safe. Below 12,000, their envelope's not very good. You drop a few flares, you're fairly safe. Okay, we're at 11,000 and a bit. He's tracking. He's not firing though. See, that was 11,900-ish. He didn't shoot at me. Alright, let's go make sure he's working. Just going to make sure everything's working correctly. I'm going to fly past in optimum shooting. So I'm down 7,000-ish. He'll shoot at me here. Just making sure everything's working. There's the missile. Missile missed because I flared. Looking for the next one. Very hard to see the smoke trails on these buggers. You should have one more shot. Full power. There's the missile. And it hit me. Wow! It actually landed behind me. Wasn't a direct hit. He shouldn't shoot again. I don't know what his reload time is. He should be reloading. He should be reloading. He gets 3 shots and then he reloads. But he's got a very short reload time. So there we go. That answers my question. The altitude range of the manpad is still round about the same. If you're at 12,000 and above, you should be safe. 11,900 and below, yeah, okay, he might shoot at you. 7,000, you're in danger zone, okay? As you can see there, he shoots fairly accurate. Right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to swap that for an SA-13 because I want to test that thing. I know Gash tested it and he said he confirmed it was a lot lower than what I thought, but we're going to just check it. So I'm going to set this to SA-13. The reason I'm going to use the SA-13 is because it gives you an audible warning and it has the same altitude as the SA-9 Strela. But we'll use the SA-13 and we'll get rid of this dude next to him. He's set to excellent and I just want to test when this guy shoots and see if it's any less. It's nice to see you in this plane again. It gets very little love for most. It's one of the best modules out there if you're an air-to-ground guy. It's very straightforward, isn't it? It's just one of the best modules if you like air-to-ground. Okay, but we're doing a little bit of testing, testing the nice to see you, Dolly. Hello, Tea Kettle. Yeah, we're testing. Like I say, yesterday I flew the Harrier, and it just so many questions pop up. So I'm going to try and cover as many as I can quickly, because I've got visitors coming around. They may be here as early as 10 o'clock, which is an hour from now, so I might have to stop. Like I said, so we're just going to run through as much as I can. One thing I want to test is if I have an SA-8 or SA-15 next to a dog ear, which one does the sidearm go for, and how easy is it to kill an SA-15 with a sidearm? And I also want to have a look at what is the absolute maximum range we can get a lock on with the sidearm, roughly-ish. You know what I mean? So, you know, is it 8 miles, 9 miles, 10 miles? It should be around about that. I couldn't agree more. That's why I spent a lot of time here. Roger that, buddy. Yeah, I know your thoughts on it. Shifty, how do you know his thoughts? Because I watch his streams. He loves the Harrier. And whenever I'm flying and he joins in, he's in a Harrier. It's obvious. Right, so we've got an SA-13 out there. He will appear in the RWR. And so we don't need to worry too much about seeing if he fires. We'll know if he fires. So I'm just retrimming the aircraft. We're going to stick the master arm on. Where is it, Shifty? There it is. Air-to-ground mode. Get rid of the map. Make sure the RWR is on and countermeasures are on. Alright. Again, we're going to pass him at 14,000 feet. See if we're safe. So this time... There he is. This dude. Okay. Coming up to 14,000 feet. Doing 500 knots. Approaching target area. Let's see when he shoots at me, if he shoots at me. He will use his radar as a ranging device. It doesn't actually lock onto you, he just sort of uses it for ranging, and then he fires an IR missile at you. So don't chaff just because you've got a radar on you. It's an IR missile. So we're at 14,000 feet. Ignore the bottom number because we're flying over hills at the moment. When we get near the airfield, it'll be around about 14,060 feet. We're 7 miles from the waypoint. No contact yet. I don't know when he uses his radar. It's around about 5 miles, I think. No, might be about 4 miles. He uses his ranging radar. Oh, I forgot to show in the mission editor his detection range and shooting range. We'll have a look afterwards. Okay, we're at 14,200. Perfect. He's 4 miles away. Let's have a look at this. He is deploying. 14,000 feet. 3 miles. No RWR. He's not tracking. He is deployed, but he's not tracking. So 14,000 feet, you're safe over an SA-13. We're just about to pass over the waypoint now. Yeah, we're completely safe. Okay, so SA-13, 14,000 feet safe. 13,000 feet, let's try that. Don't drop until we're at least 5 miles away. Like I say, we're doing some Harrier testing, sidearms, and how do the SAMs work in DCS? Not everybody's cup of tea. Some people will find it interesting. I want to test it out. It's been a while since I've had a look at it, so it's a little bit of a stream for some. Sorry. These questions needs answering. Okay, 5 miles out, we're going to drop and reverse. Dropping to 13,000 feet, coming back in. I expect him to shoot at me. I think it was about 13,500 he fired at me last time I checked this. That's why I started at 14,000. Right, just popping back up to 13,000. Heading towards him. We're nearly at 13,000 feet, not far off. Let's have a look at him. He's not tracking me. He's deployed, but not tracking. Okay, there's 13,000 feet. 3 miles out. No RWR tone. Although he's in my RWR blind spot, but he's not tracking. So this guy looks like he's a little bit lower than last time I tested this. I'm sure it was around about 13,000 feet he fired at me. But he hasn't fired at us, as you can see, we've just flown over him. Okay, we're going to drop to 12,000. I expect him to shoot at me. Don't drop yet, don't drop yet. Wait till we get a few miles out. Okay, 4 miles out, dropping down to 12,000. Reversing once we hit 5. I expect him to shoot here. Okay, there's 12,000. Reversing. 5 miles away. Yeah! He's not shooting at 14,000, buddy. Last time I tested it, it was 13,000 feet. Last time you tested it, you can see he didn't shoot at 13,000. They were at 12,000 now, heading straight towards him. 4 miles out, no RWR sound, no nothing. He is still activated. We're just below 12,000 feet, 3 miles out, no RWR contact. He's probably in my blind spot now though. He's still not shooting though. Nope. We're just flown over him. So he has less range than the manpad. Manpad shot at us here. Okay, what I'm going to do is fly 12,000 again, but slightly offset. Maybe it's because I'm too directly above him. I'm going to slightly offset just to the south of the runway and see if he shoots. It's still at 12,000 feet because I expect him to shoot at me at 12,000, but he's not. So I'm just going to slightly offset and see if he shoots. Don't you want to use T-pod to track the target and see? Well, no, yeah, I could do. I don't have a T-pod on, buddy. I don't see the pod. I don't need to see it with a T-pod. It will get an RWR sound, or we'll get killed. Then we'll know. It doesn't matter. Right, we're just going to offset about a mile outside the airbase. Should still be in his engagement circle at 12,000 feet, just to see. I expect him to shoot at 12,000. Pop back up. 6 miles out, and we're going to be about a mile south of him. Maybe a mile and a half south. It's a good idea, man, but... Okay, approaching 12,000. We're slightly offset. Is he tracking? No. 11,500 feet. Well, 11,900 inside his engagement bubble. I don't know, 2.5 miles south I am. That's he's not interested. Okay, let's try 11,000. He's not the slightest bit interested. He's not even tracking me. Okay, there's 11,000 feet. Waiting for 5 miles. Retrim the aircraft. Okay, 5 miles, reversing course. 11,000 feet. Going to just slightly offset, slightly to the north. Only slightly, half a mile hopefully. Okay, we're just below 11,000 feet. Inside 5 miles. Okay, yeah. Just inside 11,000, 3 miles away from him. He's tracking now. No RWR sound because he's in my blind spot. Is he going to shoot? Yep. And there's the RWR. So, it's between 11,000 and 12,000 feet he shoots at you. You've just seen that. At 12,000 or just below 12,000 didn't shoot. At 11,000 he did. Right, okay. He took a latrine break. No. So he is working perfectly fine. But it's a lot lower than I thought. A lot lower than I thought. Let's have a look at the mission editor. Let's have a look at the mission editor. And see his engagement bubble. Okay, his detection range is out to there, and his engagement range is there. Let's have a look at the with the ruler. So he's 2.6 miles is his shooting range, maximum, and his engagement his detection range is 4.3 nautical miles detection range. Interesting. Being this high is cheating anyway. Yeah, it's less than a manpad. The manpad fired a lot earlier. He fired 1,000 feet higher. Interesting. I did not expect that. Right, so that's that test done. Okay, so I just want to have a look at the IR SAM systems. Oh yeah, we'll test one more while we're here. For those interested, we'll put down an Avenger. Now, I have been killed, no joke, by an Avenger at 18,000 feet. Gash told me when he tested it, the Avenger was way lower. I was like, no way. I got killed by one of these at 18,000 feet. Let's have a look at Avenger. Avenger, which is another IR SAM. Avenger, there it is. So, as you can see, his engagement range and detection range, let's have a look at them. 2.4 nautical miles shooting range, 2.8 detection. Okay, let's test him out. They are set to excellent, by the way, the maximum skill level. And let's save that and fly that. Let's go see. I'm going to fly past at 14,000 feet and see if he shoots me. Last time I tested this, like I say, I have died at 18,000. But Gash tested it a little more recently than I have, and his results were much lower, to my surprise. So we'll see today. Accelerating. See what's changed. Master arm on. Get rid of the map page. Bring up the store page. Just get a check RWR. Check countermeasures. Quick look outside the back. Make sure countermeasures are deploying. And we're going to climb up to 14,000 feet and fly past the Avenger, which is a blue SAM system, a NATO one. Sometimes people like to fly against the NATO stuff. I build the odd mission against the NATO stuff. Be interesting to see the difference. Okay, 14,000 feet. But nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. Like I say, I'm not sure when I'm going to have to stop. We've got some visitors coming around, hence why I'm doing something a little bit different today. We are going to test sidearms and targeting priority, because some questions were brought up yesterday when I flew it. If there is an SA-8 next to a search radar, which one's it going to go for? Which one's it going to prioritize? Is it random, depending which way you come round? Is it just goes for the strongest signal source? Does it just pick between the two randomly each time? Who knows? These questions need to be answered. They don't, but I want to answer them. Right, okay, his maximum shooting range is 2.4 miles. Now, let me think. 14,000 feet. It's, what is it, 5,000 feet per mile? Is it 6,000 feet for a mile? I think 6,000 feet for a mile, isn't it? A nautical mile. So 12,000 plus half. Yeah, it should be able to shoot at 15,000 feet. Okay, I'm just going to pause and set up the other camera. Zip. This is why I don't need a teapot. We just use the camera. Okay, there's him. There's me. We are 5 miles outside of his detection range, so he isn't deployed yet. We're at 14,000 feet. Maximum altitude engagement and alarm states are set in the mission editor. Yeah, but I want to know what the maximum is. If you just set him to maximum, what is it? Okay, 3 miles. We're inside his detection range at 2.8. Okay, 2. Doesn't look like he's doing anything. We're at 14,000 feet, 1 mile away. He's not doing anything. Yeah, it's yeah, Pink. Yeah, that's not what we're looking at. Yes, I know you can change the maximum and this, but what is the maximum? What is it? That's what we're looking at. It changes. Last time we tested it, it was different. I've been killed by this thing at 18,000 feet. I don't know how, because when you work out 2.4 nautical miles vertically, that's only about 15,000 feet. So, Gash tested it, and he was much lower. We just flew past at 14,000. You can't override the maximum. You can reduce it, but you can't make it any more than the maximum. So yeah, that's not what. Who cares? We just want to know what the maximum is. Right. So we just flown over him, as you can see. No, he didn't even track at 14,000 feet. Right. So then we're going to come past at 13,000 feet and see what he does. Yeah. I know. Pink said you can. You can't override the maximum. I'm pretty sure. The maximum's the maximum. You can reduce it, so he engages at a less percentage, but you can't make it any more. But that's not the point. We just want to see, if you don't touch anything in the mission editor, what range do they shoot at us? You can make it easier. Okay, coming round. Gonna fly past at 13,000 feet. You can do your own tests anytime you like, buddy. It's my test. Don't like it? Yes. I'll leave it there. There's reasons for this today. I've mentioned it a few times already. I've got visitors coming around and I can't do a normal stream because I'm going to have to stop early, more than likely. Right, we're at 13,000 feet, approaching the target. Target is not tracking me because we're just outside his detection range, 3.2 miles. Now we're inside his detection range. He's still not tracking me. We're inside his firing range. He's still not tracking me. And we're directly overhead. And he's not interested. So at 13,000 feet, this guy's not interested. Yep, he's not interested. Okay, we're going to come past at 12,000. Just extending. Yeah, we'll have a look at the ranges in a second. We'll demonstrate what he's talking about. But that has no bearing on what I'm looking at today. Yes, I know you can edit it, but you can't make it any more. Maximum range is maximum range. You can make it less. Not interested in that, though. Right, coming around at 12,000. Okay, 12,000 feet, roundabout. Doesn't need to be precise, close enough. Gives you an idea.
Missile.
Dude!
Missile.
Krubrax, guess who? Hello, little one! You missed the singing. I've sung twice already. 61 months! Holy shit, that's a long time. Thank you very much for the support. The continued support. It's my... I don't... There's two of you that are so close to me. I can't remember who's got the most. I'll say you got the most. Krubrax is the longest sub. 61 months! What the hell? Hype, hype, hype. Right, we're 4 miles out. We're not inside his detection range. We're at 11,900 feet. 11,700 above the ground at the moment. Okay, 12,000 feet roundabout. It's close enough. Okay, we should be inside his detection range. He's not tracking. We're inside his shooting range. He's not interested, look. Not interested in the slightest. And that's at 12,000 feet on the nail. Not interested. Giggy in the sky. No, he hasn't subbed in a while, buddy. I think you're used to around about the same. He hasn't subbed in a while. I hope he's alright, but I haven't seen him in a long time, buddy. 5 or 6 months, I haven't seen him. He's departed. He's said, I've had enough of Shifty. He's lost interest in DCS. Okay, we're dropping to 11,000 feet. I expect to be shot here. 5 miles, reversing course. Can't blame him. Yeah, he's had enough. Okay, then we're going to test some sidearms against SAMs and see how they perform. Right, we're flying towards him again now. This time we're at 11,000 feet. And this is a surprise to me. I expected him to shoot me slightly higher than the Russian SAMs, but he's not. Okay, we're just approaching detection range. We're at 11,000. Inside detection. He's tracking now. He's tracking. He's interested. He's about to shoot. There's a missile. He's got 8 shots. He's fired 2. I'm going to tease this guy out of all his missiles. So if it's between 11 and 12,000 feet, this guy shoots at you. Hey, hit me. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading chat, reading to see what Pink said. Maximum engagement altitude is set in waypoint options. Yeah. The maximum altitude is, and then you can reduce it. It's the wording. You can't change the maximum altitude. The maximum is the maximum. Okay? But you can reduce its maximum range. But it's the wording, buddy. Right, so he hit me at between 11 and 12,000, yeah, just around about 11,000 feet. So his maximum engagement range is between 11 and 12,000 feet. That's a lot lower than last time I tested it. Right, so something has changed. However, what I want to just point out is a couple of things. Right, we're going to have a look at what Pinky's talking about. And I'm just going to show you here. So if you want to work out the maximum altitude that this SAM can shoot at you, is have a look at how use the draw tool and see the feet. How many feet is it for a nautical mile? 6,000 feet. Okay, so 12,000 feet is 2 miles. And half of that, because it's 2.4 miles, is 15,000 feet roughly. So I expect him to shoot at around about 15,000 feet, because 1 mile is 6,000 feet. So if we click on his thingy and measure his maximum shooting range, there's 1 mile, which is 6,000 feet. There's 2 miles, which is 12,000 feet, and there's another half, well, 0.4. So 0.4 of 6 is, what, 300, and so 12,000... Oh, sorry, it's 3,000 would be half. 2,500 roundabout would be 0.4. So 2,500 on top of 12,000. 14,500 I expect him to shoot, but he didn't shoot until we were below 12,000 feet. You see what I mean? Because obviously vertically up and straight out is obviously a bit of difference. Because if you fire straight out, it can go up at 45 and then come down. Whereas straight up, it's always fighting gravity, so it probably can't go as high as it can go far. Interesting. So, right, his engagement range is, as we saw, somewhere between 11 and 12,000 feet. A lot lower than I thought. Right, okay, so Pinky mentioned that we can change the altitude. Yes, you can. So if you go to special options down here, add, go to set option, and in here you can set engage air weapons. That's not the one. It's altitude restriction, minimum and maximum for AAA. And as you can see, there it is, 11,400. That's what you're talking about. It shows you it here. Is that what you're telling me? I've never seen, this is new. So that's his maximum shooting range. I don't need to do all this testing. What a waste of 46 minutes that was. His maximum shooting range, like I said, was between 11,000 and 12,000 feet. As you see here, it's 11,483 feet. I think that's what Pinky was telling us, Gash. You can see it here. This is new. Yeah, exactly, Crucible. I feel like a right fucking tool now. Oh my god, thanks, Pinky. So we can go here and it tells us. It never used to tell us here. Right, but you can reduce this and set it as you want, but you can't make it more. I don't think. Let's have a look. You can make it more. How can you make it more? So what we're going to do now is I've just set it to 16,000 feet and we're going to fly past it at 14,000 feet and see if he shoots at us. This is what Pinky's talking about. Okay. I want to see. Now will he shoot at me? Thanks, Pinky. Didn't even know this was here. Let's put the waypoint right where it needs to be, so we can get an accurate reading on when he's shooting at us. The ISAC will probably be limiting factor now. Thanks, Pink. See, we take the mickey and say, oh, you can't change the maximum altitude. That's stupid. But no, you can. You can set the maximum altitude. But what is the missile's maximum altitude? Okay, interesting. So it is set in the mission editor by default with a number. You can edit it, and it'll be interesting to see what the fuck it does now. This is just, I feel like a right dickhead. Oh, thanks, man. Oh, when you can laugh at yourself, you know you're in a good place. Oh, let's test it. Oh, if he shoots me down at 14,000 feet now, this setting wasn't there last time I tested DCS missile ranges. Okay, Gash tested it much more recently, and this explains why his results were lower than mine. And I was confused, but let's see. Rimmer, yeah, I mean, we need to test it. Hello, Sprocket. We need to test everything again, because it's all just been turned on its head. But the beautiful thing is, you get to see it, and it's me that looks like the idiot. So we've set him to 16,000 feet, and as far as I can work out, 2.4 nautical miles straight up should be 14,600-ish feet. So he should be able to shoot me at 14,000 feet, but he couldn't before because his maximum was set to 11.4. Now we've just lifted his maximum to 16. Can we get shot down at 14 when he wouldn't engage normally? Interesting. No more S400 type systems needed. A few people with manpads. Yeah. Well, we just have to say thank you to Mr. Pink for pointing this out. This is obviously a new feature since last time I tested the SAM systems. Like I say, it was a few years ago. Okay, we're approaching 14,000 feet. We're 12 miles from the target. As you saw last time we flew past him, he shot me down at 11,000 and a little bit feet. Let's see what he does this time. But Harrier has much smaller heat signature than other jets, so it's harder to lock onto. No, that's not technically correct. Right. IR sources on the Harrier is actually quite bad. Because normally you've got a jet pipe at the end of the aircraft, and the heat signatures are a long way behind the aircraft. The Harrier it has 4 nozzles. There's a lot of heat build up under the wings. I don't know how that affects its heat signature for IR missiles from the ground. I'm guessing, just by guessing, that there's a lot of heat signature produced from this thing. If you have a look at air shows, this thing blows out a lot of heat plume. Obviously, a jet flying along blows it out the back, so the heat signature's not directly underneath the aircraft; it's behind the aircraft, and you know, I don't know is the answer. But 4 nozzles, all trapped. The heat's trapped in. You know, it's heating up the underside of the wing, the side of the fuselages. It's not out the back of the jet. So I think the heat signature on the Harrier is not lower. Single engine doesn't make any difference. It's the hot air coming out, buddy. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. But my guess, just by looking at the way it's designed, is the heat signature on this is bigger than if it was a single tailpipe at the rear. Single engine, single tailpipe would be lower signature than this single engine 4 pipes. So you got 4 hot spots underneath the aircraft. In amongst those, you know, that'll be heat. The weapon pylon there will be a little bit hotter than if it had a single jet pipe at the back. The rear flap area will have some heat.
Missile.
You know what I mean?
Missile.
Dude, Duckhead, thank you very much for the 5 months Twitch Prime subscription. Thanks for the support. You're an absolute legend. How are you doing? So, my guess is the heat signature on this aircraft, just by looking at it, will be more. But I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just my interpretation. Right, we're at 14,000 feet, 10 miles from target. Let's see what happens. If that's the case, we're going to have to retract my original statement and say we're looking for the missile's maximum range. What we're looking at is the missile's maximum default range in the mission editor if you just drop one on and use it. Because you can change the maximum if he kills me now at this altitude. With my rough maths, it's very rough math, he should be able to kill me at 14,400. 2.4 nautical miles straight up is 14,400 feet. Okay, just going to pause and set up the camera. So we need to press F10, go have a look at the airfield, and control F11. There he is. We're just going to monitor him. This is why I don't need a T-pod, buddy. I know what you're saying is correct, and a T-pod would make it handy to see exactly what he's doing, but I can just flick through the views. Okay, we're 5.4 nautical miles from him at 14,000 feet. Pause. 2 massive exhausts blasting from the side would be so... I would bet so too. Roger that. I think the earlier Harriers used to have exhaust burnout, but it was later it was changed. Yeah. Because right. Okay. Right. Okay. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to think. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to sort something out. Right. Right. Paint. There it is. This and this. No. Right. So we have. This is the airflow into an engine. And we have This is the engine of a normal aeroplane, okay? This is the engine of a normal aeroplane with the tailpipe at the back, okay? The airflow goes in cold. The airflow goes in cold. Somewhere in here it gets heated up when it spins through all these spinning blades, and then some of them have an afterburner which squirts fuel in and ignites it to get more power. So the engine air comes out hot. Okay, Harrier is slightly different. We've got engine. We've got back of aeroplane. This is the back of the aeroplane. And we've got nozzles here, 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 and here. Okay, so we've got cool air coming in. Now, I don't know how hot this air is here. I don't think it's as hot as the air that's coming out of here. But because the hot air is then having to turn, this gets heated up more than any point on this engine because the hot air is having to turn and come out here and then this way. So the air is being changed direction twice. So it's heating up this surface here, this surface here, this surface here more than a straight through engine. This is just my interpretation. I don't know how the engineering and physics work, but this is how I look at a Harrier engine compared to a normal jet engine. That's why I think the heat signature underneath and around the engine exhausts on the Harrier would be hotter, but I don't know. I'm not a guy in the know, but I do know that the engine is redirected out of 4 nozzles as well as down the wings, but that's cool air. Or warm air, it's not hot air. But I'm guessing that because it's not straight through, the air's having to change directions under pressure, at force, that this part of the engine is going to be a lot hotter than a normal engine, which is obviously, you know, all contained within an aircraft body. So that the heat signature for me, it's got to be quite high for a Harrier. But like I say, I don't know. Right, that's the end of that discussion. Can we leave that discussion there? Okie dokie. Right, so we're approaching the target area. We're 4.6 miles away, and we've changed his altitude engagement range. Okay, let's have a look. He's not looking at me, but we're not inside his 2.8 nautical miles. As soon as we get to 2.8 nautical miles, there, he's still not tracking me. We're inside his range. He's not tracking me, so I'm saying now changing the difference to 16,000 feet makes no difference to his engagement range, because he's not reacted any differently to before, even though we changed his altitude. Yeah, exactly right. I don't know. That's why I'm going to throw that out there. I don't know, but this is just my interpretation on how that engine particularly works, but I don't know how they've achieved it. But we can all agree the air going straight through that is heated up is not going to heat up any other surfaces compared to an engine that you're trying to redirect the air. You know what I mean? Because the air is having to come out of these nozzles, so the air is changed direction from a straight line through a bend, it's going to get hotter. We can all agree to that. It's going to be hotter than if it just passes straight through. The materials that are directing the air is going to be hotter. Right, well, can we leave it there? Freaking hell, man. I feel like I'm in freaking school again. So what I see from that, we changed his altitude to 16,000 feet. We flew past at 14,000 feet. He didn't fire. He didn't even track me. He didn't even look at me. Nothing happened. So, yes, you can change the maximum altitude. However, there is a maximum altitude that missile and system is going to operate at. And guess what? It's set by default at the maximum. So changing the maximum, I don't think is going to actually do anything. You can reduce the percentage in the maximum, yes, but increasing it is really not going to do anything for missiles. It does say, yes please, I'll have another one because that's cold. I'm too busy yakking, honey. It does say on the option here, altitude restriction max for AAA. Okay, so although we changed the maximum altitude, this is for AAA, I'm guessing. The missiles have got a limited maximum altitude, and that's what it's set to by default. When you see, if I delete this and add it again, that's the maximum the missile will shoot at. That's what I'm guessing. Would technically cool down the air then, though. Yes. Herman, can you not get the bit when can we leave that subject because I don't know. I'm not smart enough. In regards to the engagement range, you still have the missile limitations. Exactly. Yeah. Roger that. Exactly. That's what we're covering, Dolly. So the default range for maximum here is, I think, for the missile system. Okay. Yeah, you just Herman. I'd love to take it. I'd love to discuss it more. I'd love to go look on the internet and see the actual fact and get all the information. The problem is, it's on my stream. We've got a short stream today because, like I say, I've got parents, in-laws coming round sometime this morning, and I'm going to have to stop the stream. Simple as that. So I wanted to get as much done as possible before I have to go, and it's just sidetracking us a little bit. It's a very interesting topic, and I love it. But we'll save it for another time. I'll do a little bit of research maybe, and we might have the answer. But we're looking at missile ranges. So this is the missile range. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, right. Now, what I wanted to test today is if I have an SA-8 parked next to... next to a search radar and the sidearm, which one's it going to go for? So we've got an SA-8 set to excellent, or sort of excellent, and we're going to put next to it a dog ear search radar, which has a habit of sucking up missiles, and I want to see how it works. So what I'm going to do is we're going to run this twice. Dog ear. I can't see it. Where is it? It's here somewhere. What the hell's the bloody dog ear gone? They keep moving all these radars. Dog ear. It's here somewhere. Oh my god. I can't see it. Oh, we could try flat face as well. It's the same thing. It's a search radar. Right, so what we've got is we've got an SA-8 parked next to, about 100 meters apart. And if we go straight in, which one's the... I think that I've done a quick reading. Front exhausts are cold-ish, fed by bypass air. Gears obviously hot, but I think you are right. Its overall signature would be higher than a single exhaust. It's yeah. We could get you sidetracked again. You're right, Simjo. We'll look at it another time. We'll leave it there. Right. So if I come straight in, which one's the sidearm going to pick up? We won't know until we fire the missile. If I come in and from slightly to the north, is it going to pick up the SA-8, or is it still going to go for this one? If I come in slightly from the south, is it going to pick up this one or this one? So we're going to run it a couple of times and see which one the missile goes for, and then if we reverse these, and that way we'll see what the sidearm is doing. Okay, let's go. Save, fly, go. Yeah, Simjo, it's a really interesting topic. Single exhaust versus two hot exhausts on the Harrier. We've worked out there's two hot exhausts versus single exhaust. The difference is single straight through exhaust, or Harrier's two exhausts which has turned through 90 degrees or deflected quite a lot. That's the difference, and that's what needs looking at. This is why I'm glad I fly like a Muppet and no one asked me to question. Dolly, I'm the same as you. I'm as dumb as shit. I haven't got a clue when it comes to this stuff. I love the discussion. I love trying to figure out the answer, but I don't know. You just got to say you don't know. Right, so we've got two targets up ahead. We're selecting Master Arm on, we're selecting air-to-ground mode, and we're selecting sidearm. Okay, we're going to reduce sidearm volume, and we'll see which one it locks onto. We're going to go straight forward. Directly ahead of me, there's an SA-8 and a P19 search radar, which is used in conjunction with SA-2, SA-3, SA-5, and you can just use it as a search radar. So when I get to about 10 miles, I'm going to uncage the sidearm and see which one it goes for. Yeah, we're gonna do it for another day, buddy. Simjo, we'll have a look at it. We're gonna fly the Harrier again. I think Friday I can stream. Are you working Friday, Hans? Yeah, Friday stream. We will have a look at it. We'll do another Harrier one. I'll do a little bit of research tomorrow, and we'll have a look at it. It's an interesting topic. Okay, 13 miles out. I'm going to uncage and recage. 12 miles out. No tone. No lock. 10 miles out. Strong radar source ahead of me. 10 miles. There we go. 10.5 miles. Lock on. Firing. Which one is it going to hit? They're right next to each other. I'm just going to fly forward and get shot down. But which are my sidearms going to hit? That's the first missile. This is the second missile. What is it going to go for? Looks like it's going for the SA-8. They're both going for the SA-8. Interesting. I did not expect that. They're both going for the SA-8. I didn't expect that, did you? I didn't. Right, we're going to repeat the exercise. So 10.4 nautical miles is the maximum range we get a lock on a radar source. Looking at it with the sidearm. About 10.4 nautical miles. We'll find out again. So we're going to fly it again. But this time I'm going to come in slightly offset so the SA-8 is nearer the sidearm. So master arm on. Air to ground mode. Selecting stores page. Selecting sidearm. Reducing the volume. And we're going to offset. So the SA-8 radar will be slightly nearer the seeker heads. And let's see what happens. Yeah, exactly. I'm wondering, Atian, what's going on? I don't know. I always thought it went for the search radars, because in my previous attempts to engage SA-8s when they were near a dog ear, I'm going to put a dog ear in, because I want to test it. They always go for the dog ear. The reason I'm starting at 19 miles out, because I want to test other SAMs. SA-8 is obviously just the one I'm starting with, so we've got a little bit of a flight time before we get there. But like I say, we're just testing some stuff out. So wait until we get to 10.5 miles. I'm going to cage and uncage. Like I say, the SA-8 is the nearer radar to me now. I want to see what it does. Hey, Neptus, hello. Hey, Chief. How's it going? Okay, turning back towards, slightly towards target. Uncaging and caging to see when I get a lock. Okay, 10.3 miles again, and we've got a lock firing. Gonna fire both. And we'll monitor what's going on. So this is the first one. This is the second one. Is it going to hit the SA-8 again? Now it should do, because the SA-8 is the nearest radar source to the seeker head. And it looks like it is in fact going for the SA-8. Now, when I reverse it, so the P3 is the nearest radar source, we'll see what happens there. Both missiles are going for the SA-8 again. Interesting. I want to test it against the dog ear. Yep. We can clearly see that. Okie dokie. Right, rinse and repeat. This time we're going to do it from the other side, so the P3 should be the nearest radar source. Yeah, I'm awesome, buddy. Thanks, Neptus. Everything's doing well. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me. Nice to see you. Nice to see so many of you. Like I say, we're just doing some missile testing, sidearms, because I flew Harrier yesterday. So many questions popped into my head. I wanted to check the maximum altitude range for certain missiles. You can actually see that in the mission editor now. We learnt that today, thanks to Mr. Pink. Even though we were talking about maximum range you can edit, but that doesn't affect missiles. But now we're having a look at the way, say, that sidearms behave. Maximum locking range is around about 10.3 10.4 nautical miles so far against SA8 and P3 combo. These things may vary against different SAM systems. So we're having a quick look at all that today. Something different, like I say, because I've got to go. Selecting sidearm. I've got some visitors coming around and I don't want to stream when they're here. Okay, so we're going to offset to the other side. So this time the P3 will be slightly closer. Can SAM shoot down sidearms? Yes, they can shoot down. SA-15s will engage our missiles. We'll see that in a moment when we swap over to an SA-15 system. I would just want to see what range I can get a lock on him and what range he engages me, and so what sort of window have we got to engage an SA-15. So this time I'm just offsetting this side, so the P3 will be slightly closer. This is so interesting to see. I would also be cool to see what the sidearm can damage because of the small hurt. It can take out all the SAMs, buddy. Any of the SAMs it can kill. Doesn't always kill them, but it can kill any of the SAMs. Okay. Right. So now we're coming in from a different angle. P3 should be slightly first. Let's see if we hit the SA-8 again. So, check here. This waypoint is set exactly where they're placed. So let's check the locking range as well. See, it's consistent. 10.3, 10.4 nautical miles is the earliest so far I've got the sidearm to lock on from this altitude. Obviously, coming in lower, you get it later. Coming in slightly higher may change. I doubt it if any more altitude will make any difference. Okay, turning in towards 12 miles out. So this time the P3 should be slightly nearer. Uncaged cage, just to check. 11 miles. 10.6 miles there, we got a lock. Firing. Waiting for the second lock. I'm not getting a second lock. Not getting a second lock. Firing anyway. And it was already locked on. That was a sidearm bug. Let's see what the sidearm goes through. So this is the first one. This is the second one. The second one was fired without tone. And looks like it's going for the P3 this time. So, it's not, it's the nearest. It just goes for the nearest radar source. Because this was slightly nearer. Yep. It's just nearest. I think we can determine. Nothing to do with strength, nothing to do with lock-on, nothing to do with anything apart from the fact whichever's the nearest. Right, I just want to swap that for dog ear, do the test again. This thing here, I want this to be a dog ear. Air defense, early warning radar, dog ear, where are you? It's not early warning radar. What would you be? Command and control? What would a dog ear be? Search and track radar? No. Search radar? Dog ear, there it is. So same thing. Straight in, and which one will it go for? Dolly, it doesn't need to do a lot of damage. It's designed to hit the emitter. Delicate equipment you can do, but DCS exaggerate this because simplified damage model on ground model. Yeah. We know this. That sort of fidelity, taking out radar systems. I know they try to do it with ships, but it's not working with ships yet. We'll leave it there. That's a topic for another time. We can go into a big black hole with that one. Okay, right. So this time we've got a dog ear and an SA-8 next to each other, straight in. They are both equally apart from each other. It just picks whichever. Last time it was the SA-8. Let's see what it does this time. Master arm on. Air to ground. Stores. Sidearm. Volume. Those missiles don't change objective in flight, not even if there's another emitter close by. It seems that way, buddy. The harms, if you target 2 SA-8s and the first one dies, it will change to the second SA-8. The sidearm doesn't look like it does that. We can test that as well. Right, 15 miles out. But this time, both SAMs are the same distance from my aircraft, or both radar emitters. And last time it chose SA-8. Let's see what it does this time. Just changed the radar to dog ear from B3. Uncaging, caging. 11.6 miles is the 10.6 is the furthest we've got tone so far. There's 11, 10.8. There you go, 10.5, 10.6 again. So that seems to be the maximum lock range on these things so far. See, that time I got the tone the second time. Alright, so 2 missiles away. Let's see what they go for. If they go for SA-8, I'm just going to come in from a different angle. Yeah, it looks like they're both going for the SA-8. I think it's just slightly closer, but it literally must be 1 or 2 meters in it. Yeah, they're both going for SA-8, look. Yeah. So it seems to be whichever is the closer. So I'm just going to repeat this and come in from the south to see if it goes for the dog ear. And that will confirm it just goes for the nearest one. Okie dokie, one more run on this and then we're going to change and try SA-15 and just show you that it will shoot down my missiles. So it just seems to be it's the closest radar source that it picks up first, not the strongest. Would be interesting how strong a different signal are now. Yeah, but I don't think it makes any difference to the sidearm. I don't think so. From what I'm seeing here. But like I say, you'd have to do this thousands of times to confirm. Under 1 or 2 tests like this, 1 or 2, it's very hard to draw accurate conclusions. But it's good enough. This is just sort of this is good enough for military. This is good enough for government testing. It's good enough for shifties testing. So it should technically go for the dog ear when we come in from this angle. So you can. This is what I wanted to see. You can target the sidearm at a specific SAM system or radar if you know its location. So if you've visually identified with the T-pod which one is slightly closer, if you come in from this angle you may get the one you want. You know what I mean? So if this sort of helping you target a specific SAM system, it might not work every time, but it looks like if you come in knowing this one's going to be slightly closer, if I come in from this way, you can engage the SAM you want or the radar you want doing this. That's what I'm looking at. If you have time, could you try more separation between sidearms? Yeah, we're going to test that. Yeah, we're going to test that to see if they change. I'm going to put 2 SA-8s, one behind another, fire one at the SA-8, and then try and time it so we fire the second one at the same first SA-8, but the first SA-8 will be dead by the time the second sidearm gets there, and to see if the second sidearm will go for the other SA-8. I don't think it will, but we'll test it, buddy. I've already got that in my head planned. Okay, 13 miles out. The dog ear should be the closest radar source. If we swing in now, turning in. Yeah, we'll do that before the SA-15, buddy. Okay, uncage cage. Uncaging, see if it picks anything up. 11 miles, trying again. There we go, 10.6 again. What's surprising me is the mount off center, off spore sight, where we're getting a lock. I mean, the lock's down there. You can't see it. The lock's down there, and we are what, 5, nearly 10 degrees off target, and the sidearm's picking up at that angle. I'm quite surprised there. Try another one.
Pull up, pull up.
Okay, second one's not getting a tone, but I'm going to fire it anyway. And the missile was locked on. See, sometimes there's a bug with a missile where it doesn't tell you it's locked onto something, and you've got the search tone, but it's slightly different pitch to what you're used to. Fire it. Seems to work. Right, let's see what this goes for. This should hit dog ear. And this one should hit dog ear. Because it's just the closest radar. So that's going to hit. This one won't deviate, buddy. So I think it's... I don't know how you can fire... Yeah, it doesn't attempt to get on anything else. So that... I think that shows that the missile just goes for the nearest radar source. What we're going to set up now is something that I and Dolly wants to check. Is if we fire one and it dies while the first one's early in its flight... You know what I mean? So we're going to make this a second SA-8. So they're both the same signal source. Will it go for the second one? I'm just going to put it slightly behind it. So it's going to go for this one. But will the second missile, early in its flight, even though it's fired at this one, change to this one or not? Idle, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Mr. Sprocket. That's the plan. Hang on, I'm looking for a tongue-in-cheek emote or his suck on this egg. But thanks. I'm only taking the piss. I'm only taking the piss, buddy. Please don't take it out. I'm just taking the mickey. Yeah. Here's an egg. Suck on it. Yeah. I know. I need to slow down. Get the first missile to just be about to hit before we get the lock on with the second. I know. Yeah. Got it. Roger. Your back seating's allowed, buddy. I just made the emote for fun. Well, Gash made the emote. Between us, we made it for fun. I don't mind. I really don't. I'm all about viewer participation. You guys interacting, and it makes it more fun for both of us. Right. So this time we've got two SA-8s, and I need at maximum speed for the first shot. Okay, master arm on. Air to ground. Stores. Sidearm. Volume. Just going to change it so I know that I know I set it further back, but I just want them in a line so it doesn't have to change much direction. Let's see how it does. So what we're doing here is we're testing to see if the second sidearm will change targets on its own if it's early in its flight. I don't think so. So about 10.6 miles is the furthest we've managed to get a lock. Uncaged cage. 11 miles. Same again. Dropping air brake. I can separate them more, but I thought that was big enough, but I don't think it is. It's going for the same one. It's dead. Yes! It changed! Holy shit! What the fudge? What the absolute fudge? Yeah, because it's part of the same unit and it's not set to... Right. If you want your SAM systems to do that, bear in mind, though, if they're set next to buildings, they just drive in a random direction and may end up in the building. But if you can turn that on and off. Right, so notice when we killed this guy repositioned. That is an option in the mission editor. Go to dispersal under fire. By default, they will disperse 600 seconds. So they'll move, park somewhere for a few minutes and then go back. Technically. You can turn it off here and then they won't move. And you can change the amount of time. You can change that. So he moved and dodged the second shot, but the sidearm changed targets. However, it's such a small window. You saw the length of time it took for it to change targets after the first target died. It was a good 2 or 3 seconds. So you have to separate them quite a long way. But that's pretty cool. Thanks for suggesting it. Although I may have suggested it myself. But that was interesting to see the sidearm do that. Very interesting to see. Okay, so what we want to test is SA-15. And somebody asked, does it shoot down? Does anything shoot down the incoming missiles? The answer is yes. So we'll put a single SA-15 here. I want to know when the 15 shoots at me, and if I then engage it with a sidearm, it swaps targets. Okay, SA-15 is down. For those that don't know what this is the meanest SAM in DCS, particularly if you have it on a sneaky trigger, so it activates once you're inside its range. For those that don't know, we found out something new today. Delete this one. If you set here AA range, I can't set AA range on this one. Delete, add. We can't set range on this one. You can only set SA8 we could change. This one we can't change. It's either 100% or it's less, so you can't see what the maximum range on this one is. That's interesting. If we select SA8, that option is not there anymore. It's a bug in the mission editor. Yeah, it's not there anymore. Okay. But it was nice because it showed you the range of the missile. It would be nice if we had the range here. That's a suggestion for ED. Range 100%. Okay, but what is the range? And then if we change this, what does it drop to? It would be nice to have the actual range here. ED, this is just a suggestion for you. Okay, right, we'll change this to SA-15. That was just something I just spotted there. We want to know when the SA-15 shoots at me, and can I lock it before it shoots at me? And then we want to know is, does it shoot the sidearm down? And we know the answer, but we want to just have a look at that. Right, okay, done. Save, go. Hey, Shumway, guten Tag, wie geht's, mein Freund? Sehr schön, dich hier zu sehen. Schauen, sehen. Something like that. Hoffentlich geht es dir gut. Something like that. I'm a little bit rusty. Right, okay, let's do it. SA-15, one of the nastiest SAMs in DCS. Okie dokie. Retrim. Master arm on. Air to ground. Selecting sidearm. Sidearm. Volume. Okay. So this guy's going to be around about the same as the SA-8. He's going to shoot at me at about 8 miles. From what I've seen, we can get tone and shoot from 10.6 nautical miles so far against SA-8. Let's see if there's any difference against SA-15 and how the fight will go. I know if I fire one missile, he's probably going to shoot it down. But we're going to just run through it as if we don't know that. We're going to shoot at him as if we completely don't know anything, so we're going to shoot as soon as we get lock and run away. Then we're going to try and kill him, which is a completely different game. Roger that, Ping. Thanks for the info, man. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy the input. Thanks, man. Okay, approaching 11 nautical miles, so I'm going to cage uncage to see if we can get a tone. Approaching 10.6. There we go, 10.6. I have tone on him. I can shoot and run away at 10 miles. When's he shoot at me, though? He's locking me. 9 miles, he's locking me. No missile launch, 8 miles. Missile launch, 8 miles. So I can defend and run away, because we're defending right on the edge of his limit, so it should be easy. Is he then going to turn around and shoot my missile? There's my missile. Is he going to disengage me and engage this? Yes. He missed. Ha ha! He missed. He's dead. So, right. So what I want to point out there, you speak great German, bit busy at the moment, got keys, new place today, now I've got some, roger that, fun of moving places, roger. So the question now in my head is, if I hadn't continued on and he shot at me, would he have engaged my missile and shot it down? Or because me flying into his engagement bubble forced him to shoot 2 at me first, that's why my missile hit? That's an interesting combination, you know what I mean? Because most people would have turned away straight away. If you'd have turned away straight away, he would have disengaged me earlier and engaged my missile earlier. Let's have a look. So we killed him there quite easily. However, I want to do it, run the same scenario as if I'm a completely new guy and I don't want to get shot at by the SAM. So I'm going to fly in there, fire my missile and run away straight away. What will happen in that scenario? So this is why playing with SA-15s is part of the tactic. You need to get them to shoot at you so they ignore your missiles for as long as possible. Because he fired at my missile very late, the missile was too close for him to hit. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's the point we're trying to cover there, Mr. Herman. Very, very interesting. Okay, so we're going to run the scenario as if we're a complete new guy and we're going to run away from the SAM as soon as we're fired, which is what a lot of new guys do. And what I'm trying to show here, against some SAM systems, it's best to toy with them a little. Not too much, but a little. Because that helps your missile get through. Okay, so this time I'm going to fly it like a complete new guy. And we're going to fire and brake. And see the difference. So you can kill him if you fire straight away and then tease out a couple of missiles and then brake. What I normally do is I get him to fire, then I fire. But what I found out today is you can fire before he fires. But continue flying in and he engages you. Interesting. Okay, full power. Because we're going to have to defend hard. I expect him to lock my missile up earlier and kill my missile. That's what we expect. But this is what not to do. Okay, uncaging. Caging, uncaging. Tone 10.5. This time he's not locking me up and he's not shooting at me. He'll engage this much earlier. Doesn't mean he's going to hit it though. But I expect him to hit it. Okay, we're going to do an attack again, but this time we're going to fire. And we're going to run in till he shoots at me and then defend. Watch the range on them. 8 miles, buddy. He shoots at me at 8 miles. Watch the countdown. I can shoot at him at 10.4, 10.5. And he shoots at me at 8. So, we can delay our first shot. Okay, we can delay our first shot until he locks me. Giving me even less time. I want him to lock me. So he's locking me now. I fly until he shoots at me. Then I defend. My missile will be virtually on top of him. Missile.
Pull up, pull up.
One down. Second one down. He doesn't have time to shoot at this one. That's the way to do it. So, killing SA-15s. Easy peasy now. Easy peasy. I think you'll agree. Okay, so we've done it that way. Damn, that's clever, yeah. So that's how you deal with that SAM. Next, we're going to do the same scenario, but this time with a Maverick. Okay, we're going to get a Maverick lock on him. And we're going to fire the Maverick as soon as I can and break away. He should shoot down the Maverick. And then we're going to get him to fire at me, fire the Maverick, and defend. Can we do the same thing with the Maverick? Like I say, it's a different stream today, a little bit different. We're looking at hunting SAMs with the Harrier. It works with other aircraft as well. It's exactly the same with harms against these same targets. So the difference is the harm has the option to shoot much further and you can target specific SAMs. But bear in mind, shooting too far out against an SA-15 is a waste of time. If it's not shooting at you, it's shooting at your missile won't get through. Okie dokie. Right. Slightly different this time. Master arm on. Designate waypoint. Designating waypoint. Selecting Maverick. They're ready. Uncaging Maverick. Maverick is looking at the target. Selecting sensor select forward and FOV zoom in. We're looking already at the target. What we need to do is fire a Maverick as soon as possible, about 10 miles from the target. So I'm just closing till we're 10 miles out. We'll lock on to the target and we'll fire a Maverick, break away. Yeah, it's Spike. The plan is to put it up on YouTube. I've done it before a long time ago, but we'll put it up again. That's the plan. Right. Okay, okay. Let's have a little zoom in, see if we can see where it... Yeah, it's locked right next to him. Look, no, that will do. Okay, approaching 13 miles. We just need to slew the Maverick a little bit to the left and down. We should get a lock. Approaching 10 miles. See if we can get a lock with the Maverick. 10.6, 10.4, 10 miles to waypoint. Okay, let's see if we can get a lock on him. Got a lock, firing. Master arm, air to ground, fire. Break off, defend. So I just want to fire straight away as soon as possible and see what the difference is. He should shoot down my Maverick. Maverick's quite slow, much bigger than a sidearm. Wrong one. I expect him to shoot this down. Just going to make sure my aircraft is flying somewhat straight. There you go. Okay, as anticipated. Right, this time we're gonna get him to shoot at me and then fire. The problem is the Maverick is quite slow compared to a sidearm, so he may still have time to lock it up. But that's what we're having a look at. What the differences are. Can a Maverick do the same tactic? So on and so on and so on. Okie dokie. Uncaging. Sensor select forward. Oh, I can't. We need to be fairly close to the heading to uncage the Maverick. The seeker head can't slew round because I've designated. Uncage. Okay, seeker head looks good. Zoom in. This time we're going to get him to SA shoots up vertically. Correct, yes. It does. It has vertically launched launch tubes, and then the missile changes direction. Okay, check. Right, 10 miles, we're going to get a lock on him, but we're not going to shoot till he shoots at me. So at 8 miles, we're going to shoot at him. We're going to exchange missiles, I then defend, and see how it goes. Locking him up. Trying to get a lock on. Oh, that's not good if I can't get a lock. Got him. Okay, he's fired at me. I'm going to wait. Fire. Now I defend. One down. Two down. The problem is my Maverick's quite slow. Yeah, Maverick's not quick enough. Look, it's going to get engaged. He's got plenty of time. There's the missile. Yeah. So it doesn't work with Mavericks. Doesn't work with Mavericks. What's the most difficult SAM to combat in your opinion? It's a mix. Right, okay. This is something very important. SAM systems are not placed down like you see them in most mission editors. You don't get just a couple of SA8s on their own. You don't get an SA15 on their own. You don't get an SA6 on his own. It doesn't happen. They work in conjunction. You will have a different SAM system defending another SAM system, so on and so on and so on. You'll have interlapping rings of fire. So. Yeah, the best combination is anything with an SA-15. Something with some long range with an SA-15 protecting it. Simple as that. Something that can engage incoming missiles defending a longer range system is the most dangerous. So for me, SA-11 with SA-15 in defending it is a very nasty combination. Even in SA-6 and SA-3... with SA-15 protecting it is a nasty thing. SA-19 is a very... we're going to play with SA-19 now. SA-19 is a completely different sound system. It does not use its radar to lock onto you to fire its missiles. It uses its radar for ranging and bad weather operations, but... It's an optically guided missile, so you don't get a missile launch warning. So it's kind of nasty. Right, anyway, that is SA-15's covered. If you're using the Harrier sidearms, we've demonstrated a very good tactic on how to kill them. If you're using Mavericks because you've got no sidearms, SA-15s are a tough nut to crack. You need to get much closer to be able to kill him without him shooting down your missile, as you've seen. I got him to shoot at me, defended, and he had plenty of time to kill my Maverick from 8 miles, even though he was shooting at me first and then swapped targets. Right, what we're going to have a look at now is SA-19, which is an interesting one. Your worst nightmare, buddy, is 2 SA-15s defending a long-range SAM system. 2 SA-15s is a nightmare. A single SA-15 is tough. You just overwhelm him, though. You can overwhelm him. He can only engage 2 targets. No, he can only engage 1 target. He engages 1 target with 2 missiles. Doesn't engage multiple targets. But you put down 2 of them, and they are they'll cover each other. They'll engage you, engage a missile. Oh, it's tough. And if you get a target, there is such a target with 4 SA-15s defending an SA-6, SA-3, SA-8s, and an SA-13's all defending 1 airfield, for example, on Quirkus mission. Yeah, the SA-5's nasty. It is, because it's extreme range. I don't play with those because they encourage people to shoot at long range, and it just wastes a lot of time. I don't like anything that's that long range. I like SA-11 about is the maximum I like. I like using SA-6s. The problem is with SA-6s is if they lose the main radar, they're dead. The nice thing with the SA-11 is even if they lose their search and track radar, the snowdrift, they have their individual search and track radars. We'll demonstrate that if I get time. That's the plan. But like I said, this stream is deliberately done in this format so that I can end at any time and we can carry on another time, because I've got some visitors coming around, so I do apologise. So we may just suddenly stop, but we're just, like I say, going through hunting SAMs with the Harrier, walking through, talking through, demonstrating the different SAM systems, how to engage them, what works, what doesn't work, and this sort of stuff. I hope you find it interesting. Right, SA-19, again, interesting SAM system, in conjunction with other SAMs, very, very dangerous. This is very nasty against low-flying helicopters because it has radar-directed guns. Where the hell's the 19? I can't bloody see him. Where the hell's SA-19? Don't see him. There he is. So this is the 19. It has a radar for searching. It has a radar for tracking. It doesn't use the radars for locking on to fire the missiles. The missiles are optically guided. SACLOS, whatever all that stands for, I don't know. Contrast lock. The missile, once it's launched, is guided, but it's sort of locked on with a contrast lock. Something like that. I don't know the exact things. All I know is this thing is nasty, particularly against helicopters. However, against a Harrier, it's not really a big threat. I want to see when it shoots at me. We won't know, but we'll see a launch, hopefully, and we'll see if we can get a lock on a sidearm and that sort of stuff. But they are set to excellent. Everything set today is at the maximum difficulty. The waypoint is right on the target, as you can see, so we can judge distances. And yeah, let's have a look at this thing. Let's go. Semi-automatic command line of sight. There you go. SACLOS. Thanks, Crewrex. I couldn't remember what it stood for. It's rather nasty. But anyway, we'll try Sidearm first, see how it goes. Then we'll try Maverick against this thing, see how it goes. Okie dokie. Trim aircraft out. 21 miles to the waypoint. The reason I've set 21 miles is because SA-11, I wanted to get round to testing, will shoot at us at about 20 miles, so that's why I've set the aircraft here. Right, master arm on. Make sure we put air-to-ground mode this time. I forgot that last time. Selecting stores page, sidearm, and volume. Check countermeasures are on, and RWR is on. Okay, so we're looking for a 19. We'll set the camera up while we're here, so we're going to press F10, set the camera up so we can see him tracking and looking at us. Oh, I forgot to look at the ranges in the... I should have looked at the ranges in the mission editor. Should we go back to the mission editor or do it for... No, we'll go back to the mission editor while we're right at the start. We'll look at the ranges. So, in the mission editor, we can click on this guy, go to add, go to set option. This guy should have maximum minimum for a AAA because he's a AAA, and we should see 11,000 feet. I'm pretty sure the missiles go higher than 11,000 feet. That's the guns. Okay? So, that's his maximum shooting range with the missile. This is his maximum detection range when he can detect you. Let's have a look at the draw tool to get those distances. So his maximum shooting range with the missile is 4.3 nautical miles. Okay, so 4 times 6,000, because 6,000 feet equals 1 nautical mile. 4 times 6,000, 24,000 feet, this guy. Not vertically straight up. I think he can shoot you at 20,000 feet. We'll test that. But, as you can see here, he can shoot out a long way. considering his range limited by AAA was only 11,000, which is only 2 nautical miles with his guns. His missiles go a lot further. His maximum detection range, when he can detect you, is 9.6 nautical miles. Call it 9.7 nautical miles. Interesting. Right, so we're going to go test this. We're going to fly past him.
Missile.
Touchdown!
Missile,
Thank you very much.
missile.
31 months, dude. Loving these testing streams. You're welcome, man. It's a little bit of testing, a little bit of, just education, showing people what the SAMs do, what they're capable of, and how to kill them. It's a bit of a mix. Right, let's go do that. We're going to fly past him at 18,000 feet and see how it goes. And then we'll engage him. I want to see when he shoots at me with his missiles. 18,000 feet, I think he'll kill me. I think I've died to one of these guys at 20,000 feet. Right, so Master Arm on. Air to ground mode select. Selecting stores page. Selecting sidearm. Because I want to see when I can lock him as well. Okay, climbing up to 18,000 feet. We need to set the camera up. Pause. F10. Zoom in, control F11, go down to the guy, just so we can see. Because we won't get a missile launch from him. Yes, I should put the teapot on, but well, I'll do it this way. Okay, so we can see what he's doing, and we can see what we're doing. Right, so his maximum range was 4 nautical miles. 4.4, 4.6, I can't remember exactly. It was 4 point something nautical miles, and I'm guessing at around about 20,000 feet. So I'm going to set 18,000, see if he engages me. Thanks for the Twitch Prime, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for the support. Nice to see you. Like I say, a little bit of Harrier and SAM testing today. Interesting stuff. Okay, we're at 18,500 feet. 14 miles out. Now, I can get a lock onto him when his radar's on at 10.6 miles. He doesn't put his radar on, though, until 9.6 nautical miles. So if I pause it now, we are 12.5 nautical miles from the waypoint. He has not deployed his radar, so his radar's not on. We won't be able to detect him. Hello, Arnie. So, even though I can get to 10.6 miles and lock onto a radar source, if his radar source is not on, we can't lock him up. So we're going to see when he turns his radar on. Okay, 11 point something miles. His radar's not up. I can get tone at 10 point something, so we're going to try. There's 10.6, 10.5, 10.4, no tone. So 10.2, we were locking up the SA-15s and SA-8s, no problem at this range. Okay, his radar's not up because his detection range isn't until 9.6. So he's not going to go active until 9.6. Now, you can have him active from the start of the mission. There is an option in the mission editor to have all the SAMs hot and ready and going and spinning. That means they can be killed from too far away. I don't like doing that. I leave them on their default setting where they activate once something's in their engagement bubble. Okay, so he's not on yet. Let's continue closing to 9.6. Okay, there's 9.6, 9.5, pause. He hasn't deployed yet. He still hasn't deployed. 9 miles. 8.6, pause. He's just popped up. RWR contact. His radar's just popped up. So now we may be able to get a tone on him. However, once we get to 4 miles, 4 point something miles, 20,000 feet, I think he can shoot me. No tone yet. He's too far below me, I think. We won't get a tone. 7.6 miles. He's not tracking me. However, I am in his detection zone. So, tracking me, you'll see the guns move up. I expect at 4 miles to get tracked. We won't get any indicator, though. He doesn't lock onto you. He's not tracking yet. 4.6 miles. Pause. I've got no tone at 4 miles, even though his radar's on, because he's too far below me. He's still not tracking me. Nope. 18,000 feet, 4 miles, he's not shooting, not tracking. No. Okay, this guy doesn't shoot at the altitudes he used to. We're directly above him, and we're not dead. And he's not shooting, not tracking. Okay, so SA-19 no longer shoots up at the altitudes I'm used to. So we're going to extend range. And we'll drop down to 16,000 feet and come back in. I wonder if his missiles are going to be limited to his gun range. Because of the mission editor. The mission editor's telling him his maximum range with AAA is whatever it was, 11,000. Can't remember. Can anybody remember what that was? So I'm wondering whether he won't engage with missiles because we're outside of his maximum AAA range. I wonder. This is one occasion where you might want to change that. We're going to test that. I want to test that because his missiles have a better range than his guns. So we're going to test that. Just thought about that. So if we look at him, his maximum maximum AAA range is 11,400 feet. However, his missiles go out a lot further. So in this instance, I think editing this up to the maximum of his missile range, which I think is 20,000 feet. We'll put 20,000 feet, and let's see see if that actually changes it this time. Very interesting. This is one instance where you do want to change it, because his missiles outrange his guns. Very interesting. Okay, climbing up to 18,000. We set his maximum range to 20,000. I think his missiles technically can fly out to 24,000 feet. Technically. I'm not entirely sure on that, but we'll find out. Okay, climbing up to 18,000 feet again. So if I want to get tone on this guy, we can shoot from 18,000 feet. We just need to point the nose down to get lock on, and then we can fire. But we're just testing his engagement range first. We could quite easily kill SA-19. SA-19 is very easy to kill with sidearms and Mavericks. It's not a challenge. Unless he shoots down the Mavericks. Now, I have seen SA-19s engaging missiles with their gun, but it's a big missile. Things like harpoons, anti-ship missiles, or the KH-63, the big missile on the Su-25. I can't remember the number. KH missile. Okay, we're up at 18,000 feet. We're inside his maximum engagement range now. But we need to close to within 4 miles. I need to set the camera up again. Just going to pause it. There's lots of things you need to set up all the bloody time. Set up the camera. Bosh. Bring that down into here. Okay, so we can monitor what he's doing. Whenever I press F11 now, it jumps to him. That's what I've set up. Okay, we're at 18,000 feet coming in. 10 miles out. So if I want to get tone on him, we just point the nose down at 10.5 miles. Oh, he's not turned on yet. Wait till he turns on. He hasn't turned on. I don't want to drop too much altitude. Now he's turned on. I don't want to drop altitude. He's turned on. 18,000 feet. Trying to get tone on him. There you go. So we could kill him from here. But we're testing his firing range, so we could kill him quite easily. But when's he going to shoot at me? He's not tracking me yet. $18,000 feet. 4 miles is his maximum range. 4 point something miles. Okay, 4 point something miles. He's still not tracking me. So setting the maximum engagement altitude has not made any difference so far. No, he's not tracking me. 2 miles. So that hasn't made any difference to his engagement range so far. Interesting. Right, we're going to fly past him, come back in at 16,000 feet and see if he shoots. I'm not sure, buddy. I'm not sure. That's what we're having a look at, buddy. He's not tracking me. I'm just going to extend 6-7 miles, reverse, come back in at 16,000 feet and see if he shoots. Like I say, today we're just testing SAM systems and engaging them with Harrier. Harrier can kill this thing very easily. It's not dangerous. It's only when you don't know he's there he's dangerous, but we know he's there. Right, we are 6 miles out, 16,000 feet, reversing direction. His maximum gun range is 11,400, but we've adjusted it to 20,000 to take into consideration his missiles, but he's not shooting his missiles even at 18,000 feet, which is surprising to me because I have definitely died to this thing at 20,000 feet. Okay, we're at 15,000 feet, 4 miles out. He's not tracking me. He knows I'm here. Okay, 3.5 miles out, 15,000 feet. He's not tracking. Easy kill, man. Easy kill. 15,000 feet. He's ignoring me. Okay, Tunguska's got a little weaker than it used to be. Than I remember, anyway. Last time I tested this, he was definitely shooting at this altitude. We're only 3 miles up. He can shoot 4 miles easy. And we're only 3 miles up and he's not shooting. Oh, I've lost my camera now. God damn it. God damn it. I lost my camera. Right. If you press F11 twice, it jumps to the next camera spot, which is an airfield. Okay, extending. We're going to drop down to 14,000 feet. His gun range is only 11.5. I'm wondering whether his missiles should be shooting at 14,000 feet easy. It's well within his missile capability. Let's see. Coming round. We're 6.5 miles out. Reversing course. Dropping to 14,000 feet. Flying towards a target. His radar is on. We're at 14,000 feet. We're not inside his engagement zone yet because we're 5.3 miles out. So he shouldn't be tracking me. It doesn't look like he's tracking me. 14,000 feet on the money. 4 miles out. We should be in his engagement range. He's not tracking. No. He's not interested. At 14,000 feet! A Tunguska's not interested. What?
Pull up! Pull up!
That's ridiculous. I'd expect him to shoot me here. He's not. He's not interested. Well, that's news to me. That's news to me. It's well within his missile range. Yeah, I'm guessing he's broken. I'm going to drop to 12,000 feet. Extending to 5 miles, dropping to 12,000 feet. I'm guessing this guy's broken. Yeah. Tunguska, I'd expect to be dead. At 14,000 feet. Yeah. Wash your mouth out. Wikipedia says missile max is 11,000. Okay. We'll see at 12,000, buddy. I can tell you In the past, I've died to these. They've obviously edited it down to what they now know is correct. But I have died to these at 20,000 feet, so it's just changed. It's probably more accurate now, but surprising. Okay, coming around. We're at 12,000 feet. 5 miles out. I'd expect to die normally here, but you're telling me it's 11,400. We should be safe. Okay, I'm at 12,000 feet. Inside shooting range. He's not interested. He's not even tracking me. 3 miles out, 11,900 feet. Not interested, look. So yeah, you are correct, Herman. Yeah, I'm betting it is set to what the default setting is when you set it at the gun range. It's 11,483 feet. Exactly. So Tunguskas are very easy to kill. You can kill with Mavericks. We're going to test it. So he's not engaging me. We'll get him to shoot just to show he's working. So I'm going to drop below 11,400. There's 11,300. He's now tracking me, look. So he is working. There's the missile. The only thing you can do to dodge these missiles is pull high G. No flares, no countermeasures, no nothing will do anything. You got to pull G. You got to maneuver the aircraft. Or get above 11,400. Okay, so that you can see there that he's clearly working. We're going to reverse, and sidearm will be too easy to kill him. I want to see if he engages my Maverick first. So we're going to select Maverick. We're going to designate the waypoint. So I'm going to select waypoint designate. I want to see if he shoots at my Maverick, a long-range Maverick. I've designated the waypoint. Selecting stores, Maverick. Can the Tunguska fire without turning the radar on? Yes. You can do it as a player. But the AI, I think they use the... I don't know whether we can tell him not to use the radar. As a player, you can do that. I'm just extending 10 miles. So his radar will be off, and I can engage him with the Maverick. Will he turn the radar on to engage the Maverick? Let's find out. So at the moment, he's currently still radar on. 10.2 miles. He's radar on. Okay, going to reverse course and engage with Maverick and see if he engages me. My Maverick, not me. So let's see if he does that. Okay, uncaging Maverick. Won't engage yet because we're too far away. Sorry, I'm not lined up with it. So line up with the target. Uncage Maverick, sensor select forward. Zoom Maverick in. Okay, wait till 10 miles. That's the maximum I can get a Maverick lock. Okay, 10 miles, locking Maverick. Attempting to lock Maverick. Got him, firing. Breaking off. So he's probably got radar on because I'm inside 9 miles. I'm going to break away though. So I'm not going to appear on his radar scope. Is he going to engage that Maverick is the question. Retrimming. Okie dokie. There goes our Maverick. Target's on the runway. Let's see if it engages it. We're flying away, so we're no longer a threat. He's turned his radar off. He's dead. This is how easy it is to kill Tunguskas. He's not even locking up the Maverick. He's not even interested. Tunguska's easy to kill now. I don't know what they've done to them, but they used to be a bit of a challenge, but not anymore. As you can see, radar's not on. He's not interested. Maverick's going to kill him. I just need to level my aeroplane out. Bam. Right, okay, so I'm not sure the Tunguskas are operating as ED would like. I'm not sure they're aware of what they're doing. They may well be, but for me, the Tunguskas used to be a little bit nasty. They're very, very easy now. They don't shoot until 11,400 feet, which is, what, two and a bit miles, which is... you can kill them easy with sidearms and Mavericks. In fact, dumb bombs even, probably. You just stay above that, drop your dumb bomb from 15,000 feet, easy. Damn, I didn't realise they changed that. But anyway, I'm going to call it there for today. My guests and visitors have turned up, so this will be up on YouTube if you want to check back some of the stuff from earlier. We tested out some stuff, and nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. Like I say, we'll resume this on Friday. We'll do some more testing against the longer range SAMs and engagement ranges, this, that, and the other on Friday. Look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for all the support, and yeah, catch you all on Friday. Take care. Bye for now. Eject, eject, eject. Bye.